Imagine finding out that the person you love the most was cheating on you. And not just with anyone, but with your best friend. That's exactly what happened to this Reddit user. And the way they handled it, you won't believe it. I was an idiot, and I stayed with my ex-fiancée/mother of my child. She has been diagnosed with bipolar I and BPD. I caught her cheating on me, and she convinced me it was due to a manic episode. My soul was crushed, and I was probably desperate for a reason to believe her. So I forgave her, started reading books on how to be a good partner to someone with those kinds of mental health issues, got us into couples counseling, etc. Things got better for a while. Then one day she called me at work to tell me she'd been cheating again, and she was worried she was pregnant. All the trust one had started rebuilding in her was shattered again, and it hurt so much worse the second time. The only reason she even told me was because she talked to her mom about it, and her mom said, "You tell him or I will." At this point, I was completely defeated. I just went numb. All I could think about was my daughter. My ex was bringing this guy, different than the first guy, into our house, while our daughter was sleeping in her room and I was at work. I became a walking husk of a man. We were still in couples counseling at that point. So I told her, "We'll talk about it in our session," and hung up. In our counseling session, our therapist really held her accountable for it, made her explain herself, made sure she fully understood how her actions affected me and our daughter, etc., which was cathartic. But I just didn't have the energy to stand up for myself. I had consigned myself to a life of misery. I was a walking zombie for the next few years. The only time during that period I remember feeling anything was one particular night I came home from work. It had been a long, shitty day. Walked in the front door and saw my toddler playing on the floor. She froze like a deer in headlights, threw her toys down, and sprinted at me screaming, "Daddy." It was the first time I'd felt any emotion in a long time, and I almost started crying. She was so genuinely happy to see me. I just kept my focus on my work and my daughter until one day, my ex walked into the living room and told me we should split up. We talked for a bit, and she got up to go to the bathroom. Left her phone on the couch. It lit up with a text message, and I saw clear as day. It was a text from yet another guy, telling her how much he enjoys cuddling. Surprisingly this time, I felt nothing at all. Just thought, yep, that explains it. 12 years of my life wasted. The funny part was this particular guy she decided to leave me for lasted all of 2 weeks. They went out to eat one night, and she accidentally spilled her drink. She got embarrassed, and apparently he didn't do enough to comfort her. So she blew up and caused a big scene. He got up and walked out. That was that. A few weeks later she asked me if we could try again, but I finally grew a spine and told her no. She continued staying with me for close to a year. I slept on the couch until she could find other living arrangements. Ultimately, she moved in with her mom. The hardest part of it was knowing I would no longer see my daughter every day. I'm doing okay these days. I'm over the worst of it. I don't feel pain or relive the memories when I talk about it. We've been split up for 3 years, and I'm just enjoying the peace and quiet. Our daughter has adjusted well, and she is happy, healthy, and doing well in school. All things considered, I'm much happier now. It's been somewhere over 3 years since we split up, but I haven't been able to bring myself to start dating again. Don't know if I ever will. I guess that's the lasting damage she caused. It's embarrassing to talk about. I feel foolish for having allowed myself to go through it so much. I had literally just given up and resigned myself to living my life that way. Thought I was helping her live with her mental health issues. I was only enabling her. None of my friends or family know about it. I can't talk to anyone about it. Doing so would only make my life more difficult, since she's the mother of my daughter and still very much part of my life and my family's lives. Aside from ranting about it mostly anonymously online, all I can do is just bury it down and try to move on with my life. Opie, sorry you are going through that, and realize it's one of the worst pains one can experience. Personally, to your point, you just move on cause there's nothing else you can really do. I'd suggest you at least find someone you can talk to about your experience, and then after that take time for yourself. Rebuild yourself. Not sure if you have kids, but if not, then set yourself free and travel, meet people, especially women, and just have fun. Dating in today's world sucks, especially with these apps. But don't put a requirement in finding someone. My family wasn't the best support, since my dad cheated on my mom. My mom cheated on my dad before he cheated on her. So they never really understood the mental anguish I was going through. They didn't understand I was now triggered by things. I had my few months of hardships, but I picked myself up and started working on myself by working out and getting out. Picked up the hobby of hiking. I've met some new ladies, but they see me as the knight they've been looking for and want to rush into marriage when I'm just taking my time. I don't have any real need to rush, especially with having young kids and dealing with my ex and co-parenting. My dog died after I found out about the infidelity, and even though my ex was supposed to be responsible since she imprinted more on the dog, she gave up and the dog slowly died of heartache. Even though I tried to be a good owner that him out look after him, especially since he then developed diabetes, and I had to give him the dose. The part of the world I'm in, America, could care less about cheating. So, as someone told me early on, that you just find happiness in the misery. Good luck, man. Betrayal never comes easy, especially when it's from the two people you trusted the most. But sometimes, losing them both is the best thing that could ever happen to you. What would you have done in this situation?